Coach, thanks as always for joining us on the call today. If you just let us know how your open week went as you prepare for the Thursday primetime game at Temple, please.
Thank you, Chuck. I thought it was a good week. The bye, came at a great time for us. Like everybody else, we're banged up, so it allowed us to kind of rest up a little bit this week. Here at the academy, there's a lot of things that our guys are also involved with, so allowed them to catch up with some of their military responsibilities and academically, try to shore up their academics. Feel like we got us some good practices, and we'll continue to prepare this week for Temple, who's also off and coming off a tough loss to Army, a game that they had a chance to win, and we'll just try to do our best to get ready for this game.
We'll take questions for Coach Ken Niumatalolo. Please hit *1 on your telephone keypad, and then you'll be introduced in the order that your questions come in.
And we'll now take our first question from Mark Narducci with the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Good morning, Coach. I remember last week on the call you said you thought your quarterback would be able to go. Is that still the case?
Yeah, he's ready. He practiced all last week, so he's ready to go.
I know it's two different teams and everything like that, but it is a rematch of last year's championship game. So much has happened between then. Has much been mentioned about that with your team this week?
No, like you said, it's a totally different year. We're a different team. Jeff's got he's a different team too. We're just looking at the here and now. We're looking from last week. How do we improve? We're just looking at our 2017 Navy team and, how we can be ready to play against Temple this week. I mean, last year doesn't have any bearing. We're just, we feel like we're not playing very well right now, and hopefully we can play better. That's our concern. We're not even talking about or worried about last year. That doesn't have any bearing on this game.
And one last thing, how about your thoughts on Temple this year?
I think they've had some tough, close games. They're doing a lot of things. They've had some injuries too. They had a tough loss last week against Army. Had a chance to win there. They're ahead. And so, I know that, like I said, like you also mentioned, that we've played them in the past, but, they're always tough. They're always a tough team. And, we know this is going to be a tough battle for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And we'll now take our next question from Bill Wagner with the Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Coach, it's a bit of an oddity that Temple played Army in its most recent game. Has that helped you in a way in that you saw how they would defend Army? Or, obviously it might help them as well. The back-to-back option teams is rare to have with a week in between. What are your thoughts on that situation?
Well, I think it helps both teams. Obviously, it helps them that, they had the week to prepare for Army prior to playing them. And then they got to play Army, but also, last week they had, time to continue to prepare. But it helps us maybe seeing some of their ideas. If they stay close to some of the things they've done, I'm sure they'll have some new wrinkles, or maybe they change completely. I don't know. But, we'll see what they do, and, if they'll stay similar to what they did against Army. You would think they would, but, sometimes guys come out totally different and change, and, we'll just adjust from there. But I think it helps both sides. It helps them to get familiar with the option, get familiar with what they want to do from a schematic standpoint, but also gives us a little bit of idea of what, some of their thoughts are in defending the option.
Mike Thomas did say after the last game when he mentioned Temple that we owe them one. So I think the players do remember that championship game a year ago.
I'm sure they do, but we're just trying to play better, Wags. I mean, that was so long ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We need to play better. I mean, the media will write about it and stuff. That's the least of my concerns. I don't talk about it. I've never talked about it. The media brings it up. We just need to play better as a football program. We need to play Navy football. That's our concern.
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Wags.
And we'll now take our next question from Don Wade with the Memphis Daily News.
Hey, good morning, Coach. I wanted to ask you about a wide receiver of Memphis by the name of Anthony Miller. You guys have already played them already, obviously, and he just became their all-time receiving leader. What makes Miller so good, despite the fact he's maybe not the fastest guy in the world and came there as a walk-on?
He's obviously a great football player, great route runner. He's got great hands. Sometimes you look at him, he's faster than you realize. But it seems like when the ball's in his area, he's always going to come down with the football. You know what I mean? And so I think the guy's a really, really good football player. Even though there might be some things, you're waiting for him, or maybe try to devise some stuff to slow him down. I mean, he's still able to get the ball and he makes plays. You know what I mean? It's just he's an impressive football player.
Thank you.
And do we have any other questions for Coach Niumatalolo, please? Hit star 1 on your telephone keypad if so. Well, Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
All right. See you, Chuck.